I think first and foremost the communication. I think that's the biggest thing. It's always great to learn and watch film off of a win. I think that was the general consensus today, and we know that we found a way to win last night, but we can be way better. And that was watching the film, just communicating, being a little bit more tied together, and communicate and cover up mistakes. I think that's when we're at our best.
Donte, Jalen said that knowing you probably forgot that shot as soon as you went up this morning. Assuming that's true, what was it like in the moment to not only make the shot, but once again hear the guard and respond to the shot?
Is that what you were talking about, Fred? That cool? No, but he's that's true. The way I was thinking more so, waking up today is like how can we adjust defensively to keep making it hard on those guys, especially Halliburton. But in the moment it was really cool. I think I said last night I actually wasn't aware that there was only 40 seconds left. I thought there was a little bit more time in the game. But every shot that goes in the Garden, that place is there's nothing like it. So it kind of feels the same first quarter versus the end of the game. They keep it energized throughout the whole entire game.
What are some of the things that you guys can do when Indiana has that full court press on to kind of alleviate some of the pressure that Jalen faces on the inbound?
Yeah, just getting them open, setting screens, getting them open, being less dancing and trying to run around them versus just getting open, owning your space, just being simple. I think when that happens, just simplifying things, getting to your space, and that goes back to what I'm talking about, communication. It's offensively and defensively. When you communicate and guys, you eliminate the error and the assumptions of where guys are supposed to be. I mean, that's kind of their identity. They did it, in the regular season, and they did it all last series. You saw them pick up Dame. You saw them, doing that type of stuff, and they have the bodies. They're a young athletic team that likes to run, and the numbers prove it. So it's not a shock to us what they're doing. It's who they are, and we expect that for the whole series. Super proud of him. Just knowing what type of person he is. Like you said, he doesn't take praise and accolades and all that stuff. He doesn't take it well because he's always trying to get better. He always knows that there's always going to be more doubters, more things to improve on. And that's just the beauty of him as a person. He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't address it. He's trying to just get better every single day. And not being him and kind of being on what you want to say the outside of, I love it. I sure as hell love it. I'll celebrate it any day of the week. But that's that's just who he is as a person, not just a basketball player.
When you guys tease him about it, or
after the season, even now, like me and Josh give him shit all the time. But after the season, it's gonna come for sure. No, my focus is trying to make it as difficult as possible. Last series, this series, 2 lead guards that are all-stars in this league that can not only get themselves numbers but also get guys around them going. So my focus has been just locking in on trying to make it as difficult as possible, not letting Tyrese get comfortable. I think when he's comfortable and he has the ability to survey the floor, he's one of the best in the league at that. And he's going to make adjustments. They're going to make adjustments as a team. But I think it's not just me on the assignment. If you look, if you watch the game over and you see how many times everybody behind me was either communicating or helping close gaps and getting back to theirs, it's a collective effort. And I think when those guys are doing it, I have 4 guys behind me that really shrink the floor and really take away so many different options. Now it allows me to be myself and pressure and do what I do.
When you first signed here, there's probably a different assumption of what your role is going to be than what's become. Through injury, through circumstances, but performance has obviously become something much different. Are you proud of being able to do that? I mean, I'm not sure even you could have guessed in October that you'd be,
Well, you're wrong. Because I have the most confidence in myself. Everybody on this team will tell you that. But to your point, I kind of said this about Jalen, is preparation meets opportunity, and that's what kind of you're seeing collectively throughout our team. I think same with myself, but just the trust level of the coaching staff, as well as the players on the court. When things aren't going my way, they always build me up and get me right back to going to what they're used to seeing all season long. And it's just everybody on this team puts in the work. So when you get the opportunity and you take a hold of the opportunity, now this is what you're seeing. And we can be a lot better individually and collectively. Not just this game, not just this series, but going forward in our career. I mean, I've said this all year. Jalen ends up with 40-something points, but he makes the right play. The right play there was they're coming to double and he kicks it. He's not a guy that says, I have 40, I gotta will this team and I have to do it solely with just my points. He knows his opportunities of when to be aggressive, when he needs to take over, and he also knows the situation when, all right, they're sending bodies at me and somebody's open. This is the right play, and he lives with the results. I think you look at Game 6, what he did with Josh. They send two at him again, and he trusts Josh to make that shot, and it's something that I've heard. I watched. I wasn't in the locker room last year. That's kind of how the series ended in Miami last year, and that really stuck with him. And you can see it all season long. Just makes the right play over and over and over again.